done for the Do-Man. He's going to try to run the items. That's one. He's got time to get to red. And he's being cautious. He knows that he doesn't need to rush it. And he's looking for it now. I think this is a mistake. He's not going to show up for red. And there will be a chance for a challenge of both megas. Okay, we got a red and mega trade-off here. Dewey getting the mega.
That was a very risky choice on Dewey's part due to the somewhat close nature of the timing between the two items. Now taking that rocket to the face, gonna change things a little bit, but I can't fault Dewey too much just because he had to make a choice between the two items just because they were spawning so close to each other. Now Plague did have a chance to perhaps challenge that mega, but we didn't see it coming from him. But here comes Plague with the rocket, and it's gonna tie it back up 1-1.
And that's going to give him both red and mega. Although his armor stack after the end of that exchange, very low. So really only mega in his arsenal. Dewey stocking up on yellow. He hasn't forgotten about it. And that's nice to see. Plague grabs red, maintains his control on that resource. Has about 20 seconds to hunt. And he's doing so. He's headed over to the other side of the map. Now here, Dewey, if he's smart, has a railgun. No, he does not. Opportunity. Miss there, I think, a little bit.
And we see Plague throwing up a lot of rockets, determined to grab that mega. And Dewey did forfeit that mega in favor of... Oh no, what did he do here? He ran away from that, knowing that Plague did have the mega, not wanting to challenge for the red armor. But that leaves Plague with a very full stack. Perhaps a cautious move on Dewey's part, but one that is going to leave Plague in a very advantageous position.
And here, Plague is just trying to maintain control of the map. Where he's walked away from red. Dewey is nowhere to be seen, though. So Plague doesn't give it up.
Yes, he is. There he is, right there on the mega. Nice shot from Plague as he's going up the shaft. But Dewey's headed back down, and he looks like he's going to grab that mega, neener out of there with only 14 health. But Plague's going to follow him right up with that shaft. And that's going to give him the breakaway point in his favor.
Dewey needs a rail. Badly. He's entering into these encounters. The difference between the first frag and the last two frag, I think, was that Dewey, if I recall, had a railgun. So let's see if he will figure that out. Oh, great shots by both players here. Dewey catapulting himself up and out of that territory. Plague, though, readying with the rail, looking for a long-range shot. Probably will get it here at yellow armor. Trying to fake out Dewey.
If Dewey doesn't go for it, it's going to leave it open for Plague. And there it is. And we're going to be seeing Mega and Red spawning at exactly the same time. So depending on how these players go for it, we could see a trade-off. But no, here we go. Plague's going to be grabbing that Mega. Dewey's going to soak up the plasma to the face for that spawn frag. And Plague is going to grab the red as well. Now, at a point like that, if you're aware enough of the item timing, and you know that they're going to be spawning at the same time, you can at least go for a trade-off, but Dewey wanted to go for the challenge instead. But here comes the red yet again, and it's going to go to Dewey, giving him a good stack for the first time, and he's going to hightail it out of there. Turning back around, here comes Plague with the LG, and
great
we
LG,
got a nice...
though.
Oh,
great
absolutely. Dewey really could have benefited from a weapon switch at that point, since those rockets really weren't doing enough to make Plague rushing into that.
Yeah, we're going to hop over to Dewey. Dewey maintains the Mega, but cannot get the mid-air rocket.
Shit.
Plague gets his. Dewey getting a second frag with an MG of that low health Plague. But the question is, you know, we've got ages until the next resource comes up. Right now, Dewey's winning out by the fact that he has more weapons. Now, he should try to keep the... he knows that Plague has an LG, and Plague's now going for a railgun. See, Dewey's wasting rockets there because Dewey's going to get a rail.
And being able to grab that Mega just in the nick of time before Plague comes around the corner with that rail, soaking up a hit going up the shaft. But Dewey's now dropping in, dropping silent, but looking for Plague perhaps where he isn't, and doing so from not a great position. Looks like Dewey kind of lost track of where Plague was, but there he is right in front of what the LG, and that's going to give Plague the 11th frag in this with 1 minute left to go.
There's a quick spawn frag, making it 12-2. That's a 10 frag advantage. And we're going to wind this thing down. Dewey, I think, playing a bit more solidly in this second half. He really finally slowed things down just a little bit, and it paid off for him. But it's the kind of thing where it's very hard to sort of gauge, what could have been, because right now Plague is just playing extremely well. Dewey gets his own mid-air shot.
And I'm willing to argue that the pace of the game really got set when both items spawned at the same time. Dewey could have gone for the trade-off. That would have at least equalized things, but instead he went for the challenge, took the frag in the face, giving Plague both items uncontested. That really set him off on the wrong foot for the entire match, I believe. Yeah,
I would agree there. So we'll see who the next challenger is. This is an interesting choice, I think.
Especially since we've seen Plague play so solidly on this map, especially as far as item control goes. But here we go anyway, Walter versus Plague. Walter, right off the spawn there, grabbing that red armor right off the bat, gonna be moving over to yellow. Let's see where Plague is. He's gonna be getting that Mega. So Walter with both armors, Plague with the Mega, gonna set them off pretty evenly right now. But what we saw last time,
nice trap,
Plague was able to grab some easy early shots. Very nice ambush. Oh, he paid a little bit of a price for that ambush, though, soaking up some damage.
I don't think he expected to get popped up in the corner.
Once again.
Yeah, that was great reaction time by Walter, able to turn around and catch Plague and pop him into the corner, stuffing 2 rockets into him, and basically making that exchange pretty even. We've got 143 for Plague, Walter sitting at 84 and 125. So after the pick of that Mega, Walter now has the advantage. Next play is going to be at red armor.
But we did see Plague just pick up that rail, and it looks like he's going to be wanting to use that to his advantage. But here comes Walter, surprising him a little bit and shoving that shaft down his throat, and that's going to give him the first frag in this match. I don't think Plague was quite aware of where Walter was coming out of that time.
Yeah, and that was also extremely nice shaft work by Walter. He ran it perfect descent, catching nearly every cell in the Plague. He's going to pick up number 2. So right now Plague is probably concerned about his crown because the momentum is certainly in Walter's favor. Walter, I think, maybe should have stuck with the rail there. He probably would have had the shot, but he's going to get the frag anyway. A little bit worse for wear, though. And Plague, though, on the recovery. Let's hop over and take a look and see how he is doing. He has just a handful of armor, low on weapons, picks up an LG, and has spotted his opponent, and he's going to double back here. I think this is a good choice.
But it does look like Plague is determined not to let Walter get the drop on him for a 4th time. And there he is grabbing that rail. And in the past he's proved, oh geez, Walter is being... There it is for the fourth time, and it looks like it's going to be yet another frag for Walter. What I keep getting interrupted on is that Plague has been able to control the pace on this map in the past and land that rail, pushing whatever fight comes afterwards into his favor, just for getting that first hit. But Walter has just been coming out of nowhere and totally taking Plague off his guard, giving him no chance whatsoever to make those initial hits.
Now here, this is really key. The fact that Plague has finally done a bit of damage into Walter as he picks up a resource. Ooh, rough play there. Walter knocked into the railgun area.
There we go.
Yeah. So Plague getting on the board. Now let's see if he can shift the momentum. Walter getting a pretty nice spawn. Red armor going into Plague. We're going to hop over and take a look at him. He's sitting at a 100-200 stack. Walter, as a fresh spawn, gets up to 75 armor and hunting for weapons. Walter doesn't have a railgun
Plague's
yet.
gonna grab that Mega, but take quite a bit of LG on the way out. But it looks like he's just gonna be waiting for a little bit, lining up for that red, grabbing that yet again. But here's Walter just taking pot shots and disappearing. And it seems to me as if Walter is yet again just waiting for the right moment to completely catch Plague unawares.
Well, and see, that's exactly how you want